Hello, hello, we are live on YouTube, wasting the time of you and you. Posting about it on Twitter. That's an encouraging way to frame it, right? Anyway, it's a fucking day. Like many other days, it's a day. Days happen. But today is a day where I realized that loneliness may be pronounced. So, if anybody actually wants to hang out with me, it's an option. But also, I'm fine with being alone. I'm actually currently avoiding my own family. Not out of lack of love for my family, but there's a lot of people in my family, over 40. Um, and it just it's really easy for me to feel kind of invisible at those gatherings when they're in person. I don't really have a need to replicate that online. I'll contact them individually. So let's listen to some nice music. You know what? I'm gonna do something I don't normally do because I realize this may run long. I'm gonna I'm not gonna shit. I mean, I'm sure I will at some point, but not on YouTube. I'm gonna catalog around the times when each tape gets played. That way, I can make the note for later. I'll just text myself. I had a pad of paper. Uh, anyway, if you are watching this live or after the fact, I hope that you are well. So around the 2 minute mark, we're gonna start with and this way I can post those in the description later, and you can check it out. In your own time. Whatever works for you, right? Whatever works for us. I'm here to look out for all of my friends, and you're my friend if you're here. All right. So this isn't going to be like a normal stream where I narrate because Jesus, you don't need that. But if you want to talk, I'll talk. I got my food from Satan Rising, Satan Rising. And it's delicious. Vegan junk food to soothe the soul. We got like turkey, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, slaw, and of course stuffing. Seasoning. So we're listening to our Genoa Sedgwick, and we're just gonna hang out. I'm gonna open a beer in a minute, and this can be as exciting or as boring as we decide to make it. You should know by now I'm not an exciting person, but I'll entertain you if I can. Hey, Garrett. We got Oh Haid by our black metal mega cutie Garrett. Hooray. It's good to see you. I got your tape in the mail recently, and I really enjoy it. If you're watching this and you're not Garrett, you don't know Garrett's project, at least not by name, but it's called, I don't know how to pronounce it. Nepegeist, I don't know. Kneipegest, and it's so fucking cool. We're gonna do an episode with that tape soon. Spoiler alert. Daniel, what is up? I'm having a really nice day. I got I got a good food. I've got good people in my life, and I'm grateful for community. How about you? And it is delicious. I got it from Seitan Rising. I said it like a minute before you joined in. I think like a local vegan bakery deli type place. They did a pre-order, so I ordered a meal for two because there's no meal for one, and I'll I'll suffer my way through eating this shit over the next few days. And Kneipegeist. Kneipegeist. I wasn't sure if the K was pronounced or silent. Cool. Thank you. Kneipe the Science Geist. Yeah, you know, obviously, the holiday that people have chosen to give to today's date is some bullshit, but you know, uh, community is universal, and I love that. Oh man, that makes me really happy. I really like, I mean, not that we're putting a face to the name, but I appreciate that, and I'm glad you're here. And I sure am having quite the feast. Wow, that's lovely. Thank you for being here. Uh, you, I still, I mean, I'm forever cursed by the knowledge that your old blog unlocked for me, the Utver. Uh, wow, like it opened a lot of doors for me when I was first starting my own blog. So thank you. Obviously, a different angle, but vital, so vital for me. So I'm glad you're here. And you know what? Let's open a beer. This is exactly it. You know, we. I think it's also as days grow shorter, it's important to take joy where we can because seasonal depression is real, even outside of modern capitalist what have you. Uh, I think it's really easy to feel less festive with less light, and so whatever we can do to build a little joy together, I'm for it. You know, I don't like that we're trying to you know uh, give a shiny new look to an old horrible thing, but that's the colonial way. Oh boy, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm certainly not trying to call you out and assess you solely by your past. A lurker is also vital too. I think I just think that you have a lot of interesting perspectives and things to offer, uh, and it's meaningful to me to see people willfully committing to unconventional music, to not just going for what is going to be the most, click earning content, because fuck clicks and fuck content. Uh, I think people like us really get into writing and music to share things that enrich our world, and I appreciate that, regardless of the shape it takes. Mega bonfires where the Europeans run. Oh my gosh! So one of my friends, Garrett, is from Devon, England, and he lives in Brooklyn now, but he goes home for like this thing in early November where they literally have barrels on fire rolling through the streets. It sounds so cool. That English countryside vibe. I've never been to England, but it seems wild. And yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, that's exactly it. Jebediah Springfield. Oh, always up for a Simpsons reference. Don't get me rolling on Simpsons though. I will. I love the Simpsons. Anyway, I said I was going to open a beer. Let's open a beer, huh? Got this big, beautiful bottle from a Suarez family. It's the Settle Down Country Wit. I didn't want to start with a ton of alcohol. I mean, there's a ton of beer in this bottle, so I'm sure it'll still have that impact. But this is lower alcohol content than some of the other beers that I've recently acquired. This is like 5% alcohol. Um, and it's a wit, as the name would have you believe, have you know. Suarez family, you've seen me drink a few of their beers over the last few months. I think they are fantastic. They're not always easy to get your hands on. My friend, you're my friend now, sorry, at Beer Street Bottle Shop in Bushwick, Brooklyn, uh, you know, delivered this to me. Delivered. He recommended it while I was in the store, kind of doing one last beer run because I'm saying one last because I think that today, for a lot of people, is going to be a day of congregation and increased numbers of COVID here, especially in a city. So, yeah, I'm kind of. I bought a bunch of beer 5 to 7 days ago. I don't fucking remember when because time is abstract. But I bought a bunch of beers. This was one that he was like, dude, I got a Suarez bottle. I'm like, yes, I'm taking that from you. Chris, hello. I love you dearly. I was actually going to send you a text today, but I can just say sweet things about you in front of the whole YouTube. And yeah, oh my gosh, I'm greatly relieved um, that we're seeing a shift. I think sadly it's because there is no financial future in writing about music. I don't view that as a bad thing personally. Sometimes I make a little money, but I'm never going to make a living off any of what I do. That's fine. If anything, it just means that, as you said, we'll see less opportunism. I am never the first person to introduce you to something. Well, actually, that's not true. Sometimes I'm onto stuff that people just don't listen to or like, other than me. But it's usually nowadays it's just a Twitter account, isn't it? Somebody's just gonna tweet, "Oh, this fucking rules," with a link to Bandcamp or whatever, and that's gonna be that. And to be fair, that helps the artist. That has value. But so I think because that is an occupied thing, that's not something I'm gonna ever do or be. I think it does allow me more the luxury of getting to really explore stuff in my own time and in my own way. Uh, I can really think about it and find something interesting and share. And it may not be timely. It'll probably have sold out by the time I even share it with people, but people will still hopefully find a value in that. We're going to open this bottle now, aren't we? Ooh, big beers, big beers. This beer is called Settle Down, which it's going to help me settle in for my day. I think I'm going to be camped out here on YouTube for a few hours, probably, just, breaking bread with everyone. Look at that. That is beautiful. Whew. I love that color. You can can you see the bubbles? Maybe not. Not so easy, but I assure you they're there. Uh, really nice, really beautiful beer. Ooh, funky. It's got nice tart nose. And Garrett, if you learned about Trollman Avil Topper or Dungeon Tapes, I think as a consequence that for me, that is such an honor. That I love Trollman. And I love what a unique brand of of strange drone they created. Obviously, the one fellow's passed on, and the other is I believe he's doing bong now, isn't he? Uh, what a I mean that is there's a very small audience for music like that, and I'm really happy to be part of it. And I'm glad you're a part of it too. Of course you are. You're you know that people talk about caveman riffs. That's about as caveman as it gets. That is the sound of the mountain itself groaning as it awakens from ancient slumber. I fucking love Trollman Avil Topberg. Uh, yeah, I think this beer is gorgeous. But I'm surprised there's like a very almost a big fragrant nose to this that I didn't expect. Okay, now I'm gonna read the bottle now that I've poured it. Settle Down is a country beer brewed with delicate additions of coriander seed and lemon verbena, grown by our neighbors, fermented within mixed culture and ripened in oak casks, resulting in a bright-tasting beer with an extraordinarily fresh palate. Okay, that explains it. This is more than just a regular wit. Ooh, I'm pumped. Oh, that's. I'm not gonna give it a word because I'm gonna sound like a clown. Like luxuriant. I don't know. That's really nice. Crisp, full, bright. This is a lovely beer. It's a really good beer to have today. Uh, Garrett, you did not show me your DS project unless it's the one that like did a split with somebody like in the last year or two that your friend put out because I bought that, but I don't think it was that. I forget the name because I'm a bad friend. But you should tell me about it. If you don't want to talk about it in here, talk about it. You can message me. Uh, Also, since we had an appearance by, I just wanted to show you this lovely piece of art made by Chris Bright. Uh, there's no such thing as the right way up, but in addition to making really cool ambient music, electronic music, noise music, Chris also paints and puts up with my shit, which I'm eternally grateful for. I feel like most of the people watching here are in time zones where it's probably not socially acceptable to be drinking yet. But if you are, let me know what you're drinking. Let me know what you're eating. Let me know how your day is taking shape. It doesn't have to be a good day. Also, if you're having a tough time and want to talk about it, I'm here to listen. But here's where the fun begins. And the big part of why we're here. If you are having a nice day, if you are in a place where you can enjoy yourself and relax and not really if you're living the high life, or even if you've just got some of that settler guilt, I've got a link for you. I'm posting in the YouTube comments. It is to the Open Collective for Club A mutual aid group that I have been watching from afar for a while. I've gone out with them a couple of times. Being me with my physical health not being stellar, I don't always get to go out in the world. But I've helped them a couple of times, and honestly, more than me helping them, it helped me. So wonderful to get to know some of my neighbors, to provide PPE to people during a pandemic, giving masks to people, hygiene supplies. That is, it's simple. Club A is doing great work, and one of the things, they receive food donations sometimes. This week, without letting anybody know, the folks that they usually would get some food with to distribute for free to the community, the place was closed. They didn't know until they showed up yesterday to try and give out food. Suffice to say, they ended up spending a couple $1,000 fucking dollars at a grocery store last minute to make sure they had food to give. We're talking non-perishables here, not hot meals. Things people can really take and utilize, from like canned tuna, crackers, staples. So if you've got a few extra bucks, you see this link here, or it's in the YouTube chat live, and you've got the money. I urge you to make a recurring monthly donation to them. The way I see it, when I'm there, I'm spending 4 or 5 hours, and even if we're valuing my time at minimum wage, $8 an hour or whatever, it's like 30 odd bucks every time I do it. if you can give $10 a month or more, that's really fucking cool and helpful. And you know, when any of us rises, you know, in benefits, we all rise up in benefit. Garrett Svartadauden, that name sounds familiar. That sounds really cool. And yeah, that's what I figured, Chris. I love that. I love that art that you make. So thank you for that. But yeah, so I'm just gonna leave the Open Collective link up there. It's also a tax deductible thing, I believe, because it's through a nonprofit. So if you're that kind of a person, I don't think I've ever made enough money on to get tax deductions. But if I'm not here to judge you, but especially if you're the kind of person that actually benefits from a tax deduction, fucking do it. All right, let's be good to one another. I mean, I'm in a position where I can enjoy a nice meal. You know, I don't live a luxurious life. Excuse me, but I have my indulgences. Which is why I try to give back and be neighborly, be involved. So, Chris, I know at least Chris, who's watching, is cooking today. You have to be. Chris is always cooking. What are you cooking today, Chris? Tell me about it. Just because I'm eating vegan doesn't mean you have to, hide. Tell me about your meat feast. I don't remember that. Hey, Daniel, I'm glad you're back. No judgment on disconnecting. That happens. I did not know about a new Earthfest album, but oddly enough, I've been in such a mood with him. I've been going on a lot of long walks lately for my physical and mental health. And Earthfest has been a regular soundtrack for me on those. I mean, they're also just a fucking masterful band. But you know, so I've been thinking about them a lot, but I didn't know I had a new one coming out tomorrow. I wonder what it'll be. I know they have so many different shapes they take, so many facets to what they do. So I'm intrigued, you know. Hi, Jaden. I'm so glad you're here. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Oh, you know, see your present. I would like to see you. Let's, you know, you know what I mean. So that was our first tape of the day. It was a Genoa Sedgelet. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it right, but like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? I don't know how to say that. But it's nice, isn't it? I think it's nice. I enjoy listening to them. And this tape was from the earliest days of Janishev, whatever. Before it became what it is now, where it's like this cult thing where the tapes sell out like that. Well, so next up, a little less ambient, but sorry, Chris, this was always the plan. We've got from Plush Organics label, Gloga with Rain for Love. It's a beautiful tape made by a beautiful person, my friend Chris. Let's see, I've got to figure out what time stamp and when. Okay, cool. 24 minutes in. Gloga. We're very professional here. Jalapeno sausage stuffing. That sounds really good. Now, gosh, I've never made a stuffing. I've never really made much of anything in that regard, but that's really cool. It's obviously less ambient here, but still, I think nurturing electronic music, as it were. So that's cool. Uh, uh, Chris refers to this project as loving electronics, and I think that that's a rather fair description. So I'm just checking my text messages because again, we're treating this like a regular family gathering. Sometimes we're just going to ignore each other, and that's fine, right? I got to sit here all day, so you know. All right. Well, looks like it's mostly nothing. Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me. I'm glad that my virtual presence is appreciated. I try. Uh, I almost had a really upsetting time earlier when the charger for my computer was kind of on the fritz for a minute there, and whew, I was getting real heated about it because that was really stressful. I'm fine with spending the time alone, but I really wanted to do this and be here, with my people on my channel, do my goofy little song and dance on here, and be present. I think I think the term holding space often gets made fun of because some of the people that would use it are maybe a little. They may have had some psychedelic experiences that left an interesting mark on them. But I think it's an apt term, and I try to hold space, or in this case, make a space for my people, for folks who want somewhere to be, want something to do. This is a really nice beer. If you're in the greater New York area and you haven't tried Suarez family beers yet, I understand why you haven't because they're not easy to get a hold of. But look for them. They're really fucking good. I've yet to have a Suarez beer that wasn't, an 8 out of 10, at least. Yeah, holding inner space. And Garrett, is your little avatar thing on here a Mortis or a Fata Morgana thing or something? That's what it looks like to me. That's what I'm seeing. I've got. Oh, did I move it? Did I actually clean up? No, I didn't. Of course. Oh boy, look at me go. I've got a little pin from Fata Morgana here. I'm gonna hold it up by your thing. It's not quite the same. Yeah, I've got a fucking button of it. I don't know which angle, which way's up. Where am I? Who am I? Why am I? That's the real question. Why? Why am I? But anyway, uh, yeah, you can tell I'm already hitting brain rot, and we're not even 30 minutes in. Oh, it's Black Sabbath though. That's why I recognize it. So I'm like, that is a familiar band thing. But yeah, I love Flying Devils too. I mean, Mortis is the Flying Devil himself, isn't he? Um, I'm sorry if watching people eat bothers you, dear viewer. I'll be done so until it's time for leftovers. Not leftovers, seconds. I love seconds. They're usually better than first because first round you have to have a little bit of everything, get the lay of the land. But when it's time for seconds, you can just be like, I'm eating a plate of nothing but macaroni and cheese, and nobody can judge you. You've decided that that's where you're going to stake your claim. I'm cool with it, I mean, nobody's judging me about anything I do because I'm, in my room, listening to tapes that my friends made and talking at my computer screen. So obviously nobody really cares what I eat or don't eat. But it's all good. The slaw is good. Mac and cheese is good. Potatoes are good. Gravy is the best because gravy, you know. Well, and this turkey loaf roast thing they made. Oh my god. Seitan is a beautiful, beautiful vessel. Wow. Isn't it though? It's good. It was always the plan that I was going to play this today, so. No. I'm just trying to tap into some positive sound. And this is about as positive as it gets. Uplifting, upbeat, and made by somebody I love. Like, you can't go wrong. You know, the friendship aspect just amplifies the beauty that was already there, I think. My. God, so I've started drinking before 4 o'clock. I'm going to be asleep by, I'm going to say by 9:30 tonight. And that is totally okay. Also, it's okay not to drink or not to do anything, you know. If that's you, that's good too, you know. No rules. I'm sure it surprises nobody, but mac and cheese is my favorite. Yeah. Yeah, what was I gonna say? I've got like a lot of friends in England who, you know, it's 9 o'clock for them now, isn't it? Now, I'm gonna bother some of them, sending messages across the ocean right now. Basically chastising people for not, you know, not being in the YouTube chat. There we go. We've harassed our friends, and now we'll see if they actually want to join us. I mean, I'm sure they want to, but you know what I mean. Garrett, thank you so much. I'm glad you were here. You enjoy the rest of your day. Be well. Yeah, I mean, the whole point of this, which, as I said in a video for the Patreon people, if you're not on my Patreon, there's a link below if you want to be. I make 2 videos a month that are for them only. But, you know, as I said to them, the whole point of this is not for it to be like me droning on, like I usually do, but rather, Rosemary. It's like, you know, if you have like a dinner party and people come through, stop and have a drink, and then maybe meander on. You know, it's more that this is a place where you can stop in. Goodness knows, I don't have it in me to be exciting for any amount of time today. But especially since we're trying to make this one run long. Because again, I'm really just trying to make sure people have a place to be if they're feeling a certain way. You know, I want that door to be open. Okay, I'm done eating. So if you're bothered by the food, it's over. There, I'll make a note of that too, so people can skip. Oh, this makes everything better. Oh my goodness. Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you. Uh, Connect with you in that form, at least. Joe, uh, we need to catch up. I've been horrendously out of touch, for which I apologize. But we can rectify that soon. You know, there. It's like I've still got your number unless it's changed. So do that. Kira, oh gosh, all these beautiful people are showing up. My beautiful friend. Kira, you've got mail headed your way. Uh, Mail which should have been headed your way a very long time ago, but it's headed there now. Family gathering. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a large family Zoom that I am currently opting out of because I don't want to watch that many people over the age of 60 trying to navigate a Zoom. Um, as I said when I opened this thing up, I'm just gonna contact people one at a time in the family, and have what I believe will be a more meaningful interaction with them, less riddled with technological frustration, and also more on my terms. So today I walked down to a vegan bakery in my neighborhood and picked up a pre-made meal, that I ordered in advance, and got a nice beer, and I'm just taking it easy. Uh, oh, Joe, I've got so many things to catch you up on. So yeah, Jaden, I agree. In my case, and I'm lucky. Family doesn't feel fucked up for me so much as I just don't always know what to say or how to say it with them. You know, I mean, my great uncle, who's 100, at Thanksgiving a couple years ago, was walking around telling everybody about our family history of naming people after hanged Jewish anarchists. So he's cool. He fucking gets it. I love the shit out of Great Uncle Newton. He's fucking cool. I love him. But I don't know. I think there's just a lot of people who are more invested in social courtesies and niceties. Uh, and I don't know how to speak with people like that because I don't know what parts of my world and my life are socially acceptable or socially unacceptable. I mean, I don't think I do anything that's really that bad or controversial or even secret, but I never know. Sometimes I'll say something and I have that moment where I'm like, oh, I should not have told this, 75-year-old relative about black metal or whatever, which is, again, so benign, but it's still like, I feel that that it's on me to maintain appearances. Kira, hell yeah. Get a plate and avoid dad. And get Mandalorian wine drunk. I've never seen The Mandalorian, but I know all I really care about is like the minute or so of Werner Herzog wanting to see Baby Yoda. That makes me happy. That makes me really happy that Werner Herzog wants to see Baby Yoda. I don't know. Small joys. We'll take them where we can, right? And Joe, if you're still here, for those watching, Joe is we're related. Uh, Somehow we're cousins of like a few steps apart. I'm bad at this. Joe knows, and I don't. But I remember years and years and years and years and years ago, Joe, finding my last FM, like probably pre 2010, and being like, "Oh yeah, Fall of Ephrathah, I love that." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's nice to have a relative who's on the level." Like, so absolute love for you, my dear uh, fellow, you know, politically radical, musically radical, queer relative. Love the living shit out of you. Uh, uh, Madeline. Oh, Madeline, I'm thrilled you're here. It's good to have you. Someone just exposed me to Mandalorian the other day. It was a long time ago. I'm not opposed. I'm not avoiding the Mandalorian or anything. I don't have like a Disney subscription or anything. And, like I'm squatting on a friend's Netflix account, to watch a couple things. And shout out to that friend, Caitlin and Nathan. Love you. They have a podcast about Kate and Nate's or Nate and Kate's movies or whatever that they, wherein they watch films and discuss them. And Nate has his podcast called "I Hope You Suffer," wherein he watches horrible horror movies with a couple of his friends. So yeah, thanks guys for letting me use your Netflix account because my broke ass isn't gonna invest in that. Although I'll throw you a few bucks if you want them because I love you. But yeah, okay. So I'm glad it's not just me. I know that like our fathers are like second cousins or something. Uh, some shit like that. I'm terrible at this. Um, and oddly enough, they're both you know am I still able to call them middle aged? I feel like late 60s is maybe past middle age, but I don't think my dad is old. It's weird, but like aging Jewish lawyers. Like I don't know. There's something to be said for that. All right, flipping the tape again. We are listening to "Rain for Love" by Gloga, loving electronics. Since it's been about 20 minutes, we are going to do a plug again for this shit that matters a lot to me. So I'm scrolling up to find my own comment in my own chat. Here we are. If you see this link, opencollective.com/club-a-kitchen. Club A is a mutual aid group in Bushwick, Bed-Stuy area in Brooklyn. I've gone out with them a couple of times. They're feeding the community. If you have the luxury of being indoors, enjoying a nice meal on a day like today, if you have your settler guilt, if you have class guilt, or even if you're just, maybe this year has been a year of learning for you. It's never too late to start giving a shit. I know some people are a little snarky about it, but like I'm just glad that you're here and you care. Club A is feeding their neighbors. I've gone out and helped them do it a couple of times. It's really fun. Giving people food, giving people hygiene supplies and PPE. Giving out masks during a pandemic is to me essential community service. These folks are neighborly. They're lovely. They are non-judgmental. They're a community fixture. This week, Club A found themselves suddenly spending thousands of dollars to feed the community when a regular food donor decided to close for the week without informing them, leaving Club A stranded. So please, opencollective.com/club-a-kitchen. Throw them $5, throw them $10. Make it monthly if you can. Give them more if you can. I'm not going to tell you what's within your means, but if you have it within you, please do. If not that, that's my personal cause that I really love because they're people I know and really love what they're doing, and I've been been involved with him, but if there's another angle for you, if there's I've seen a lot of good indigenous and trans crowdfunding today. I've seen I've just seen a lot of compassion today, to be fair. But so if this doesn't sound like the thing for you, find mutual aid groups in your area. Find a food pantry. Find anything that is giving to others and not skimming off the top for the benefit of its participants. I assure you, it feels so good to be involved. And fuck, now that Roger's here, the fun is over. Uh, actually, Roger, you've probably already left. I've got someone who wants to see you, Roger. God. Ooh. There we are. All right. So, just for Roger, we got Monkey. There you are. I know how much you love your apes. So, for you and you alone, the monkey has made an appearance. That's your nephew. That, if you say so. I mean, yeah, I guess it's technically kind of my child, and you're kind of a sibling. So yeah, that's your nephew. There you go, Roger. That's my nephew. Jesus. What chaos are you getting into today, Roger? Are you dealing with your parents? Are you I don't know what you're doing. I know that you're probably like getting stoned and being in the Bronx. I mean that's every day of your life. I know. Oh boy. Well, it is a lovely day here. I wish I guess I could show you all out the window, but I'm not going to. It's a beautiful day here in Queens. Um, it rained a little this morning. It was supposed to be a rainy day in general, and it was like just a nasty drizzle, and then it went away. And it's actually sunny and gorgeous. And if I weren't doing this, I'd probably be out walking. It was like 60 degrees earlier. Fucking ridiculous. Hell yeah, Al, you're cooking. You're with a family, not with Suze, right? Um, well, I'm thrilled that you're wasting your time on the internet with me, Roger. Fucking criminal that you're like that we're all so close yet so far. I have so many New York friends who it's like, oh yeah, you're, you know, there's like 7 people I know within walking distance. You know, like we're talking like 10-minute walk or less. And not seeing them. It's weird, right? It's weird. Go. Welcome, Christy. Glad to have you here. Speaking of, having people who live locally, but also there's a pandemic and you cannot see people. It's weird. Yeah, that's the thing. Like everybody lives so close, you're not seeing each other. Like like I've got a couple friends in the neighborhood who I've seen outdoors briefly, but even that it's been a few weeks because shit's getting more and more of the way it is. Well, I am going. Oh shit! Right, this pen is busted. Look at this. Uh, I don't know what I'm doing. Actually, I do, but I'm struggling to do it. We're gonna have a be back soon moment. I am going to do some dishes, go pee, uh, get another plate of food, and it's going to take a minute. So, uh, does that work? We can't see that at all. Okay. We're going to write that in Sharpie so that people. There we go. So, yep, we're going to switch the cassettes in a little bit. Chris, you saying that threw me off. Like, happy to play it because it's good music. We're gonna push that closer. Maybe people will see. Yeah, we'll be right back. Ah, shit. All right, we're back. And here I am almost destroying my laptop, tripping on my own cable here. Yeah, so, yeah, 5 minutes, 6 or 7. One of my roommates was in the kitchen cooking, and, you know, I had to graciously, get in there without being too in her way. She's lovely, very lovely about it. And glad you were here, Joe. Truly thrilled you were here. And glad you're all here. How's the day going? Treating you well? Feeling okay? You don't have to be feeling okay, but whatever you're feeling, we're here for it. Community, like old straight edge bands, we're here for our friends, but we're drinking beer instead of being straight edge. Although if you're straight edge and you're watching, I love you and I value you just as well. Because fuck judgment and all that. We can celebrate our differences as long as they're not, as long as you're not like a hateful person. Beep beep boop. And it's time for the next tape, but also more beer. There we are. Beer. If you didn't see it earlier, lovely beer. Lovely beer. All right. Oh boy. It is delicious. Again, this is the Settle Down Wit from Suarez family. And they make great beer. Great people making great beer. Who would have thought such a thing could be? Yeah. Kira, it is a pretty beer. This is a special tape. Keys to the Fields 16. This is selected works 2014-2015 from the Weight of Ages label. Weight of Ages was a really short-lived label that was like Bandcamp only, or I think they did like 5 copies of like a tape for an artist sort of thing. But they had a lot of really interesting stuff in their very short time. And the Vienna Press cassette label picked up a lot of that stuff and repressed it to cassette, according to this, in 2017. So this is kind of like a Weight of Ages compilation. So it's like a love letter to a label that it just, in the blink of an eye, it came and went. But all the stuff they had was really nice. I was really fascinated by them and really sad that I never, that it never really became more than it was. So we're gonna enjoy that now. We're gonna enjoy some beautiful music. I'm gonna, mark this timestamp in my phone. There we go. Pretty beer. Pretty every. Oh, that's. I'm like, something feels weird. It's like, right. I pulled up my chair so the notes and back soon could be visible. Still couldn't see it, I'm sure, but And you can see the sun is starting to set now that it's 4:30, late hour. I got a message from someone, so I'm gonna check on it. Check in on people. Maybe I can respond to that one later. Oh, look at that. Boy, people are sending me pictures of dogs. That's how you know you're loved, is people see a cute animal and they want you to see it. I appreciate that. If you ever come across a nice animal, and I will appreciate every time you send them my way. What's playing? It's a compilation of material from this record label. It was very short-lived. It was Bandcamp only stuff, I believe, called Weight of Ages. The compilation was released by a different label, Vienna Press, after the Weight of Ages label. Weight of Ages showed up and disappeared in such a short time. So this is like an actual, like a collection of tracks from the handful of releases they put on Bandcamp from Vienna Press. really kind of haunting, you know, that very much that kind of warm, sad synthesizer music that it kind of touches on some of the more ambient works of like the old Posh Isolation shit, or like the entire Janis Joplin career catalog at this point. Kind of minimalist, mournful, fuzzy, but melodic synthesizer. I'm such a sucker for that shit. It all just sounds like soundtracks for empty rooms. Yeah, no, I mean it's very like old Posh Isolation. I know in the last few years they've taken a turn stylistically, both music and aesthetic that I think is doing really well for them, and it's not personally of much interest to me. Um, I'm not judging at all. It's just less my personal niche. I'm gonna take a minute away from that because this is such a carbohydrate overload, uh, which I love. But I'm gonna give myself a moment's break. Some water. Here for a long time, not a good time. Shredding cheese for some mac. Chris, what kind of cheese are you putting on your mac? Excuse me. I've never heard of Din Records. But yeah, I've been atrocious. 2019 and 2020 both. I did not keep up with new music terribly well because last year I spent a lot of time in the hospital and then recovering from being in the hospital. I was a little preoccupied, and then this year everything happened. I was a little preoccupied. Uh, I've spent so much time like listening to Suede and listening to Beauty Pill, two bands who Beauty Pill has some new stuff this year, but it's been a lot of comfort listening this year for me. I still have plenty of things that came out this year that I loved to the point where I'm still struggling to remember what is going to be, on my list, but also it's not as much as I usually would. Fontina Greer, Gouda, and Sharp Cheddar with Killery is back. Killery is also a cheddar, right? I know of it. Sounds good. Sounds like some good mac and cheese. I'm enjoying the stuff I got. Mac and cheese is always the best food. Love a carbohydrate. You know, puff out a little bit. Killery is a white cheddar. Wow, that sounds. The name sounds Irish, so it's fitting, isn't it? Yeah, 2019 sucked a lot. There was a lot of good music in it, but yeah, 2019 sucked. 2020 has been worse, and you should absolutely make a list. I'm interested in seeing your list. Oh, this is nice beer. Nice tape. Oh, man. It's a good day. It, not that it has to be a good day, but in my world, it's been a nice one. Has it been a nice day for you? Like, I feel like I'm hearing and seeing a little bit of beauty, glimpses of joy in your worlds. I hope it's a nice day. Chris, how's Sarah Beth? Don't leave her out of this. She's part of it. Let's see how our friends are doing. Oh, yes. People are appreciative of the ridiculous food I have. Yes, it is good food. You would enjoy it too. Maybe next year I'll actually get to have company and I can like prepare a meal for people I love. I'm enjoying doing it by myself though too. Um, so it's a lovely, lovely time connecting with people, even if it's from a distance. I've been, sending texts to people I love today, checking in, making sure everybody's okay. Wow, that's really fucking cool. You wake up with a home cooked meal, and it's time to bake a pie. What kind of pie are you baking, Madeline? Hell yeah, that makes me happy. Oh, everybody's got all this love. You all deserve love, even if you don't feel that you do. Sorry, I have a headache today. Anytime the air pressure shifts, like when it rains and stops, or when it isn't raining and starts, like I get a headache. And look at that. We got what I've been talking about English people, and English people showed up. Hello, Ithaca. Uh, we got our. Some of you folks may remember the episode I did with Ithaca, or with mostly just with Jamila, which was joyous and chaotic, and kind of like when I did the episode with Chris, joyous and chaotic. I don't think anybody was shotgunning beers in the Ithaca one though, so maybe Chris is more chaotic. Uh, yeah, it's not a holiday in the UK, but a bean pie. That sounds like it could be good. I mean, I've had like sweet bean, like dim sum type things. Uh, I'm not sure if that's the same sort of thing, but that sounds really good. I love a bean. Like legumes of most varieties are a staple of my diet even before I began this attempt at veganism. I can think of way too many times where I would just eat beans out of the can with a spoon like a fucking maniac. Actually, that's not a maniac thing at all. That's like lazy and depressing, to be fair. But I still enjoy it, and that's really what matters, right? Beans. Tell me about bean pie. I want to know about the kind of beans, the flavors. Mmm. White beans blended into a sweet custard. That sounds super tasty. Fuck yeah. I need some. I'm coming over. I'm going to start walking to Texas now. I'm going to take the pie. One of my roommates made a pie today. It looks really good. I think it looks like it might be like blackberry or something, or blueberry. A dark berry. Uh, I have not tried it. It is not mine to try. I'm sure if I asked, I could have some, but I'm probably not going to ask. I have too much food here as it is. The last thing I need to do is add to the inevitable stomach ache by eating sugar on top of it. Oh my goodness. Chris, I'm not taking a road trip. I don't drive. I mean, I do drive. I don't have a car. I'm just walking to Madeline's house. You can come over though. Yeah, I mean, I'll say the nice thing about any sort of American holiday meal is it's all fucking borrowed ass food anyway. So it's like put your own spin on it. I mean, like stuffing, which is a main component of what I'm eating, is I mean it's just literally like bread cubes. It's just bread with like rosemary and onion and garlic. So it's delicious because rosemary, onion, and garlic are delicious. And then macaroni and cheese is I mean it's pasta with cheese. Again, hard to really go wrong. And obviously, I'm the ways I'm consuming these are not entirely traditional, but it still tastes amazing. It doesn't have to be traditional to be good. So itchy. So gross. I'm like scratching myself on the camera. I definitely wish that I could like hand this off and not be the star of the show. Not in the way where I have somebody come up, but like just it would be great to actually be sitting at a table with people just bullshitting so that I could be quiet for a bit. Yeah, it's marshmallows mixed with sweet potatoes. Um, I don't remember the last time I had, but yeah, it's not with a regular potato, but like a yams, candied yams. Uh, Not great. Some people love it. It's not for me. I'm just here to eat all the bread shit. Oh my goodness, though. This is something. Wow. Cranberry sauce. Now, cranberry sauce is. You had a cranberry. I'm. Yeah, no, it's, I mean, it's more on the tart side of the berry world, which can make it really good or really bad depending on what people do. Cranberries. God, yeah, the cranberry sauce. I mean, it's just like basically you boil down some cranberries and usually add something sugary to them to make them a little less tart. Um, I'm trying to think of other berries that might be similar, but yeah, it's like a tart red berry. I like it. It's not like pure sugar, which makes it well rounded to have with the kind of with the herbal foods. There's a lot of like heavily herbed roasted foods that you eat around this time. Uh, or I guess if I were English like fucking Ithaca making fun of me, I'd say herbal. All the herbs that you consume. Yeah, so I mean, it's good. Cranberry sauce is not one of my personal highlights of anything because again, I'm weird and I don't really fuck with sugar much. Uh, yeah, and that's the thing. For some reason, most people's favorite version of cranberry sauce comes from a can. It's just like gelatin in a can, uh, and then as you heat it, it thins out a little, I guess. Uh, the stuff I had was made fresh by the lovely people at the bakery place, but no wrong way to do it. I just don't do it much in general myself. But I mean, who the fuck am I? Why would you trust me on what to eat? And just to get back to this, yeah, the yams and marshmallows is pretty fucking vile. But look, it's America. Do you have any idea what the average American diet looks like? I mean, you do. I know you do because you're on the internet. We collectively, not individually. I'm including myself as a resident of the United States, but not as a practitioner of such a diet. Do you remember that there was a thing called the Double Down from Kentucky Fried Chicken? I don't even remember what the Double Down was, but I know that it was like a sandwich where the bread, instead of, usually you got to, if you're making a sandwich, it's a slice of bread and you've got whatever's in the middle, vegetable, uh, dairy, meat, what have you, and then another slice of bread. But the Double Down sandwich, which was a viral internet popular food for a minute, it was a piece of fried chicken, deep fried chicken, battered and fried, with like bacon and cheese and shit in the middle of it, and then another one on top. So the fried chicken is the bread, and then inside of it is different meat and dairy products. Okay, yeah, yeah, it absolutely vile. And look, I'm not here to judge you. In a vegan version, at least involves a little less chaos and grease. But but I think that's my point. Those are the sorts of foods that we eat here. It exists. Yeah, we love proteins. You know, and oh, that's right. The burger with donuts as buns. Yeah, and there's like the ever popular maple bacon donut, which is like a lesser evil in the spectrum. But and to be fair, maple anything is I think a good thing. If you put maple syrup on anything, it is better. Maple is a great flavor. But also, since we've got, oh, they have the double down in the UK. Jesus, I don't need to tell you about it. I thought that it was like a thing that came and went in like a year because I'm not paying attention. I mean, look, I'm just saying we're like the fucked up kids of the UK, so it's kind of your fault that we're like this. You're the ones with like eel pie. What the fuck is up with eel pie? You have so much to answer for, including us. You're the reason we're this way. I blame you. Like why can't you all be like Paddington, just eating marmalade sandwiches? That's pleasant. I like pleasant things. I have never had the McRib in my life. The McRib, I know it's like a meme. I mean, again, there's a reason I eat the way I'm eating now. I never really gave much of a shit about meat in general. There are certainly meat dishes that are good, that taste good. I'm not consuming it myself now. I don't judge. Some of it tastes fucking fantastic, and I understand the appeal. But things like that, especially anything that comes from like the barbecue sauce spectrum. No, I've got two Texans watching. You're gonna hate me. It never appealed to me because again, sugar. I don't like. Why would I cook sugary tomato sauce into a thing I'm gonna eat? It doesn't really do much for me. And I'm led to believe that the McRib was like a barbecue uh, thing. I don't even know what kind of meat it had on it, but so yeah, it never occurred to me to try it. Um, but yeah, people love it. Evil Paddington eats eels. I reckon. Do you? I reckon that is. Yeah, yeah. I like that you folks are correcting me on my barbecue sauces. I lived in Florida for a few years, and I lived in Tennessee for a year and a half. They both had like sweet ass barbecue stuff there, and I fucking didn't like it. Daniel, that is the fucking truth, right? It makes me think of The Simpsons when Lisa's explaining all the different meats that all come from one animal, and Homer has that. Oh yeah, some magical animal. And it's all just a fucking pig. But Homer is unaware that all those things came from a pig. It's like bacon and ham and whatever the fuck else. Oh, Homer. I certainly identify with Homer Simpson quite a bit. I think you're meant to. For as foolish as he is, Homer Simpson is in all of us. I like I like brown sugar shit. I don't know. I don't like barbecue in general, really. The sauces, what have you. Oh, fucking dork. Kara, there is no forgiveness. I hope your aunt is well. So, uh, it's been a minute. A reminder. Uh, 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 uh. We're going to talk about Club A again, real quick, in case people are coming, going, have a chance to see. Club A is a mutual aid collective group, what have you, here in New York City. Helping feed our neighbors, helping provide hygiene supplies. I think there's going to be a coat drive soon with the weather dropping. Club A had a major financial hit this week, unexpectedly, as they sought to feed our neighbors yesterday and found that the charity that usually provides food to distribute was closed. Being resourceful, compassionate members of the community, Club A and its volunteers spent over $2,000 yesterday buying food to give away for free. So, if you've got a few bucks to help lighten that burden, uh, you're helping the helpers to continue helping. So, opencollective.com/club a kitchen. And if not, find a mutual aid group in your area. It's valuable. It's worth your time. I have had some good like barbecue, like vegan barbecue stuff. There was a vegan food truck in Portland, Oregon when I lived there. I'm sure it's still there. Oh yeah, it is. They're actually like a brick and mortar restaurant now, if I remember. I forget the name, but they were really good. They had like it was disgusting, but they had like a burrito with mac and cheese and barbecued soy curls, and I don't even remember what else. It was terrifying. I think it was called Homegrown Smoker, Homegrown Cooker. I don't fucking know. Uh, but yeah, all vegan barbecue joint. And there's one sandwich was like, I mean, it was very clear that somebody very stoned came up with the idea for it. And it was so goddamn sinful. It was amazing. But like, I have to be in the mood for that sort of a food. Whereas there are some things I could eat day in day out, like mac and cheese or it's sushi. Like you just give me seaweed rice and avocado. I could eat that all day, every day, happily. Also, I mean, just boy, yeah, I'm really describing a lot of carbs. Fucking toast. I've been living off sourdough toast lately. Proudly. Well, I'm not proud of it, but I'm not ashamed of it. Sourdough bread is delicious. Well, well, I've finished my second plate, and I'm finished eating for now. Truly. Uh, uh, it's wild to get such an early start because I'm already feeling like, oh, we should wind down, and it's like not even 5 o'clock. Give us a little more time, won't we? I definitely want to be here for people and not have it run short. That said, I mean, I'm fucking tired, guys. I am tired. Sorry, I know "guys" is not a gender-neutral collective term, and I'm not making fun of that. I sound like I myself am non-binary. I just don't care if people say "you guys" or if they call me "dude" or any of that, because for me personally, I'm in my 30s, and those are terms that have always been part of my vocabulary, so I understand it. Yeah, carb loading. See, that is the universal connection between you folks and our, in the original, the old country, and like we all love a carbohydrate. You and us both. You got your bangers and mash, your fish and chips, all those dense ass foods we love. Wine down. I do not. I do not drink wine. That's actually not true. I like wine, but wine makes me fall asleep. So I don't really drink it because if I drank wine on camera, I'd just be well, I'd be logging off to take a nap. I figured out what's wrong. Maybe if I dim the screen a little bit, it'll hurt my eyes less. Now you don't have to see me either. Oh, that's much better. But I mean, jokes aside, lovely. You should have a glass for me, Kira. Don't get hungover. You'll regret it. Maybe you're. I don't mean to be demeaning. Perhaps you're at an age still where a hangover is uncommon or is not painful. I almost never get hangovers myself, but it's because I usually just drink one drink and call it good. I am scared of feeling bad, so I don't do things that might make me feel bad. Oh, you know how it goes. This is very peaceful music for me. Wine hangovers can be nasty. Yeah, it's because it's all that sugar. I mean, all alcohol is sugar, but wine is especially sugary. And it's like wine and rum, fruity mixed drinks. It's a fucking risk. It's not a risk I take. I can get away with it. I'll probably feel bad just drinking this bottle of beer because I already had a headache when I started drinking it. See, I had a headache before I began drinking today. Like I'm just, I was fucked from the second I started. Ugh. I've got a sore throat from talking because I never talk anymore, so now it hurts to speak. I get a sore throat every time I do one of these videos. Maybe I should just take my vow of silence. I've already accepted my vow of chastity. We'll just really commit to the bit, huh? It's a lovely day. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, that's me. We're committed here. I am nothing if not consistent. Actually, it's also not true. I'm incredibly inconsistent, but I do love to make fun of myself. That is consistent. If I'm not if I'm not making fun of myself, I don't know. Am I really alive? I'm not sure. God, here I was thinking I was gonna drink more than one beer on this stream today. This beer is so fucking big. There's still there's still beer in the bottle. I've filled this, but this is the third time. What? I mean, it's low alcohol beer. It's 5%. Yeah, it's not low alcohol, but it's not high alcohol beer. Like, I have a couple tall cans that are 10.5% in the fridge right now. That I was like, oh, maybe I'll have one of those after I have this. Oh my god, what the fuck was I thinking? Excuse me. Whew. I didn't see that coming, or else I would have stopped it. I don't know, man. Oh. Yeah. Look, I'm trying to pace myself because I'm realizing now I'm not going to be able to run this as long as I would have liked, just because I don't feel physically as well as I would like. But yeah, my initial goal was to run this till 8 p.m., which is another 3 hours from now. That is not happening. My headache is. You know what? Actually, I'm about to do something that's not medically advisable. I am going to go get something for my headache while I drink beer. Yeah. It only causes liver damage if you do it a lot, and I never do this. So that's why it didn't even fucking occur to me that I could or should do it. But this time I'm not going to put up a sign. I'll be back in like 20 seconds. I'm going to just grab a pill for my headache. There we are. I'm back. Okay, so there we go. All is right in my tiny world here. I have my very exciting, acetaminophen. Yeah, Chris, I feel that deeply. This morning, usually for breakfast, I've been making every day the same thing because I'm a creature of habit. It's cheaper to buy five of the same meal than to, uh, have a diverse array of ingredients. So fuck it. I've been eating every day for breakfast like a slice of toast with avocado and stuff on it, and then like a handful of that just egg, the vegan egg thing, which is made of like mung beans. It's really really tasty. And today I instead had carrots and hummus for breakfast because I was like, I need to save room. I'm gonna overdo it later. Gonna eat so much, and of course I've eaten maybe a third of the food. And I also, even though it's amazing, part of me is like, how am I going to eat this again? This is so heavy. How am I going to do this tomorrow? Or at like 10 p.m. tonight or whatever when I decide to recommit to this. I'm not sure how I'm going to survive, but I will. I will. It'll be wonderful, honestly. But yeah, corn chips. I love eating tortilla chips. Especially there's like when they're like really thin corn tortilla chips with just like a little bit of salt. Oh, so good. Sourdough egg, avocado, and pickled shallot. I sounds great. I haven't done the pickled shallot part, but I love shallots. I've been cooking. The vegan egg thing is just for scrambling. Basically, it wouldn't turn out very well if you know, I mean, you can't make it like a fried egg or whatever. So I've been like making a scramble and cutting up a little bit of black olive and some peppers in it, uh, maybe some onion sometimes. So that sounds quite good. I love pickled anything. So yeah, and sourdough toast is the only toast for me. I love all kinds of bread, but sourdough is just consistent and versatile. I can use it for more than one kind of meal, and as a consequence of that, I prefer it. Just waiting for the sweet relief of these pills to kick in so that I can, I don't know, annoy you with all my energy, my renewed energy. Do I have like a light glowing on my face? Something is casting a light. Uh, it's interesting. There's a very strange little light. You can kind of see it like right there. Uh, that's interesting. Not sure what it is or where it's come from, but especially because this thing is in reverse. Huh. Yeah, I can't quite tell where it's coming from, but that's interesting. It also really fucks with me to see my face. Send me pickled stuff anytime. I the other day I got a jar of baby corn, thinking it was just baby corn, but it's pickled baby corn. It just tastes like pickles, but it's baby corn texture. Oh, it makes me happy. Jamila, I'm gonna send you the link to come in, and you can teach me how to say shallot. Okay, you're gonna love that. How do I here? Uh, check your email. You can come teach me how to say shallot now. Uh, like I'm not gonna try and guess how you'd say it because like I don't want to. I'm not interested in making fun of your accent. That's really not funny to me to do. Uh, I can imagine what it might be to you, but yeah, for me it's shallot. Uh, we'll see if I'm joined. Uh, did I ever see Host? No. I know of it because that was just like this year, right? Like somebody decided to have that as like their pet project. I haven't yet seen that. Oh, Shallot. Oh, okay. Chris, the fact that you know that off the top of your head is interesting to me. How do you know that? Do you watch a lot of English cooking shows? I bet you do. Uh, I started watching the Great British Bake Off, and I understand the appeal. I mean, in general, I'm like one of those Americans that derives a little too much joy from the BBC programming, which I'm sure if I were English that would be very basic of me, but because I'm American, Well, fine. You don't have, we're certainly not making you come on here in your pajamas. Uh, it was simply an offer. You could fix my speech and make it the Queen's English. Uh, you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to have a laugh at my own expense. Okay. Let's. How about some dungeon synth, huh? We like dungeon synth. I like dungeon synth. It's good. Yeah. We're gonna listen to Secret Stairways, The Enchantment of the Ring. This is an actual dungeon synth classic. This is from like I want to say it was like the 90s, mid 90s, like 1996. Yeah. So this is like actual original. Wait, I like that you said no and then you join us anyway. Did you change?
Hey,
Welcome. It's good to see you.
how's it going?
Better now. How do I say it? Teach me how to speak right.
Teach you how to speak better. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to figure this out.
Well, good luck.
Shallots.
Shalot. It is.
Yeah,
Shalot.
shallots.
Chris, why did Chris know that? Chris is from fucking Texas. They don't say anything right there.
That is definitely the correct way to say it.
Okay.
There's me,
Shalot.
the authority on shallots.
I mean, you sound. I mean, I know that for you folks, accent wise, like it's all regional, and you can and there's like a big class aspect to it. But to me, every English person sounds like they're fucking wildly wealthy and important. I'm just like, oh, you're all like fancy. I'm speaking like a fucking idiot from California that I am.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know. If you actually heard proper posh people here, I sound like shit compared to them.
No, I mean, you sound like my friend Scott, who lives 3 miles that way. But he's from Devon, and he learned to speak more like he's from London because I guess he was judged for sounding like he was from Devon.
Yeah, because the accent in Devon is fucking horrible.
Yeah, his mom has it. She came to visit one summer. She's so sweet. She's so sweet, and she didn't understand most of what we were saying, though. To be fair,
Yeah.
she didn't know what dinner was.
What do you mean?
She only knows supper and tea.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I see tea.
Yeah,
Tea
she
dinner.
she had never heard of dinner, which I'm not making fun of her. It was just like it's that kind of a cultural difference. Whereas
Yeah.
she's in her 60s and she's in the United States. I think she'd been here once when she was young, but again, she's in a strange new place. She's from fucking Devon, and she's in, you know, and so we went out for dinner, and she's like, "What's dinner?" It was really, really cute.
Yeah.
Uh, but also like her accent was a little different. But I mean, you're in London, so I can understand you. So, some English people, I feel so guilty. Like I'm like, oh, I don't know what they're saying, and I feel like an asshole because it's definitely on me.
Yeah, there's so many accents though, and there's still some people that like I have trouble understanding sometimes.
What really?
Yeah,
Okay.
like particularly really strong Scouse accents. Pretty
Scouse.
troublesome. Yeah.
What is Scouse?
People from Liverpool?
Oh, Liverpool. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like super, super intense. I find it can be quite hard to understand sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I know it exists, but I still feel like a dick when I'm like, oh man, I should. We're speaking the same language, using the same words, and somehow the pronunciation is so vastly different that like, I can't.
I find
Well,
it
thank.
I find it interesting, yeah, that there are so many regional accents here, and your country is so much larger, and you
I mean,
kind of
we have a handful, but I don't. I'm not sure why like the spread of accent is different here. Because Because you folks, it's like, oh, you step one block over and it's a different accent. Whereas here, it's general clusters of a few hundred miles in terms.
Yeah.
Uh, but I do wonder too if that's just part of the weird class hierarchy thing that you guys have. You are so fucking concerned with class. Like, I mean, not you specifically.
I was
Maybe
gonna
you
say,
are.
yeah, not me.
Yeah, yeah. Posh Jamila. You know, you,
Never gonna happen.
you fucking be singing pulp songs about you.
Oh my god.
Oh, whatever. Common People is like the greatest. I mean, I love pulp. I love Britpop. Um, is that Tony?
It is.
Hey, you alright?
Look at you. Have you just gone climbing? You look
Yeah,
like you climbed a mountain.
just been climbing up Archway Road.
Ooh.
He went to he went to buy an apple crumble. Is what
And-
happened.
So now you're gonna share. Did Tony? Did you eat it out, or is it for the two of you to share now?
It's
Oh,
two
hell yeah.
individual
There you
apple
go.
crumbles.
I
Wow.
love it. Well,
I get treated so well.
yeah, you fucking do. Nobody's bringing me an apple crumble.
Yeah.
Look, well, if you need to go eat that crumble, I understand.
And a beer.
And a bit.
Crumble in a can. Look at
There you
what
go.
you're drinking.
True romance. I'm gonna get off your live stream now.
Thank you. Now I know how to say shallot. So
You do, yes. Charlotte.
shallot. All right. Cheers,
Bye.
Jamila. It's the true Thanksgiving tradition of people coming to correct my poor English and going, if anybody else wants to come teach me how to speak the language I was born speaking, please do. My friend Johan, who is Dutch, has taught me better English skills because he's an English professor there, and I'm a fucking scoundrel. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'll get corrections on my grammar from him. And I'm like, oh, dude, this is just wrong. Like I inherited this language by birth. I didn't choose to speak it. And now I'm stuck being judged every time I fuck up, which is often because I'm me. Oh goodness. Okay, we're gonna make note of the time of this tape going on. And thanks again, Jamila. That was a true delight. Honestly, we're gonna listen to some Dungeon Synth. Yeah, some shallots. Yeah, if anybody wants to come shotgun a beer with me, or whatever, I'm not gonna shotgun. I'm not gonna chug. But Chris, if you want to shotgun something, uh, if anybody wants to teach me anything about any language, I'll learn. Teach me your secrets. We will enjoy. Sorry, I got some text messages from roommates about household things, but they're all kind things, no problems, just good things. Yeah, that's a regional one. English is very inconsistent. There's certain things that aren't even. There's no right or wrong way from what I've gathered. It's just regional. I remember when I was in school, my Spanish teacher was from Mexico, so she was a great Spanish teacher, and she would anytime a student would complain about the difficulty of learning Spanish, which I mean, it's tough to learn any language, period. That is a fact. Her quote, which has stuck with me. I mean, it's been 20 years. This woman, Maestra Carmen, she said, "Look, the past tense of I think is I thought. You don't ever get to tell me Spanish is a hard language, because like where in English, if you're gonna say I think, the past tense would be I thinked, which you didn't think, you thought. What the fuck is that?" And again, she was an immigrant from Mexico. She had a thick Spanish accent, and she was a brilliant linguist as well. But I think we often are just so acquainted with our own language that it's really easy to forget the complexities, especially for a new learner. Oh boy. Like I guess I strive to learn other languages because I think they're beautiful anyway. But I guess I'm fortunate that I inherited English as my native tongue because I think that's probably the hardest one to be new to. Everything else, I feel like more or less there are rules that you can learn, and once you learn the rules, you can play around within the realm of that language. English has rules that apply just as often as they don't. It's absolutely, it's a fucking wreck of a language. Probably because, like everything else that white people do, it's borrowed. It's like, oh, we're taking a little slice of this, we're stealing from that, we're gonna, bastardize that. We're gonna just take everything and ruin it, and make it our own because we know better than you. I guess I don't know. Yeah, fucking English. God, now I want an apple crumble. I don't think we have crumbles here in the United States. Crumble. It just makes me think. There's again because I'm basic with my British stuff. There was a program that used to exist called Noel Fielding's Luxury Comedy, and there was a I don't even remember what the context was, but there was just a character that said, "I did a crumble." He was bragging about getting attention, high marks for doing a crumble. Uh, so, I mean, I have an idea of what a crumble is. I probably would like to eat one. Thank you. Yeah, this is some real wizard music. The real wizard hours. Who's up? A crumble, crumble, a crimble, crumble. I will always accept baked goods. Little known fact about me: I like carbohydrates. And even though I've been talking shit on sweets, I like sweets. I just I don't have room for them today. So of course today I'm in that mindset of no, I don't need them. Yeah, like I know many of you saw that I got a pie a couple weeks ago, and I loved that pie. If you will bring me a baked good, I will eat it gladly. Is a crumble like a cobbler, Madeline, but like with like a coffee cake topping instead of cobbler topping? Because like I know again, a crumble is a thing. Like I've never had one, but I have this abstract idea of what it is. Yeah, see, be jealous. I mean, also to be fair, you can make and enjoy a pie too, but I can't make anything. I have no idea how. I feel like a cobbler and a crumble are probably similar. I used to eat peach cobbler a lot when I was younger, and oh, okay, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and when I was maybe I was probably 13, and I had a peach cobbler for the first time, and I became obsessed with peach cobbler. Yeah, okay, yeah. I've never had that, but I like the idea. So apparently, I just need to go back to the south, where I swore I will never return, and the Southerners will make me the food I need. To be fair, I feel like the South has more of a connection, both in terms of food culture and honestly the accent to our roots in the UK. Oddly enough, I'm not sure how or why that is, but I find a strange similarity. Not a bad thing, just a different thing. Yeah. All right, so far it looks like I'm just collecting it. So like we got Chris is gonna make me mac and cheese. Madeline's gonna make me barbecued soy curls. The entire band of Ithaca, not Jamila, it's the whole band of Ithaca. You can see is gonna make me a fucking crumble. I'm just like accumulating the food hookups here. If anybody else is watching that wants to give me something, I will gladly accept your offerings, please, please and thank you. I try to repay these things. To be fair, I don't know what I'll do, but I'll try and make it worth it. Kira, grilled cheese is fucking rad, yeah. So I guess in when I go to Pennsylvania, I've got grilled cheese. Hell yeah. I mean that that's probably the first thing somebody's offered that I'm like I can probably safely make that myself. Actually, that's not true. I can also make mac and cheese. I made mac and cheese the other day. Got this box of this shit that was made with like it was like chickpea pasta and pumpkin based cheese sauce. Like so it's all like vegan and gluten free. I don't give a shit about the gluten free part, obviously, but it was really, really, really good. But yeah, I will still take your grilled cheese. I love it. Everything's coming up Millhouse today. Mm. This beer is still good. It's been open for like 2 hours. It's still delicious. It's also a huge bottle. This is a wine bottle sized bottle of beer. This is just the sheer liquid. The volume of it is a lot. Look at that. Annie's. Like the bunny? That they sell that stuff in bodegas here. Do they have a dairy free one? Do they have a vegan one? I've never seen vegan Annie's. Uh, but that was definitely my go-to. When still consuming dairy products. Okay, they have a vegan one that's harder to find. Now, there was a bodega here that was grossly underpricing the Annie's Mac. Like usually that stuff's like $3.50 a box or more. There was this little bodega that clearly I don't know what their deal is. They were selling it for $2 a box, and I would buy the entire stock when they had it. And then obviously you cook it. I would like take like green beans and hot sauce and stuff and like make it into a slightly better rounded meal. I mean, it's still a box of mac and cheese that I would be eating. I didn't know they had a vegan one. Oh, Madeline, you're not supposed to tell me these things, but I'm so glad you did. I'm gonna be on the hunt for that now. Oh shit! I like that I just ate 2 plates of food, and I'm still out here like trying to get you all to help me find more food. God, this is bad. This is like such a. I mean, obviously, that's not how I roll, but I'm having like a drunk with power moment here, apparently. Uh, yeah, I mean, I'll take food anytime. I also like to cook for my friends, though, so obviously, I will feed you all too. It does what it does. My curse is your curse. I feel like that has to be some metalcore band's like song or album title. I imagine it in like a script sort of font, where it's like not cursive but almost cursive. Uh, Sounds like the second Atreyu album. Oh wait, wasn't their second album called The Curse? Here we go. Like I'm scraping at the back of my brain, trying to remember things that like I thought about 17 years ago. Yeah, my curse is your curse. The vegan macaroni curse. Oh, Killswitch would do that too, wouldn't they? God, I it, the Killswitch Engage thing is such a shame to me. Like, we're gonna talk metalcore for a minute here because I know there's at least two people in here who give a shit about it. Blood Has Been Shed with the album Spirals put out possibly one of the greatest metalcore albums ever to be released. And then their vocalist went and joined Killswitch Engage, and Killswitch Engage had just lost their singer, obviously, and they after putting out Alive or Just Breathing, which was an incredible fucking album, uh, and then so the singer from one of the best metalcore bands ever, Blood Has Been Shed, joins Killswitch Engage, who just put out an album that's like high watermark for the genre, and the album they put out, I think was it The End of Heartache, was so painfully mediocre that I just never fucking bothered again. Dude has an amazing voice. They're a good band, but it was so bloated and ballady, and I don't even remember it honestly. What an absolute shame. And My Arms, Your Hearse. That's an interesting thing. We know the Opeth record. Do we know the Comus song? Uh, Opeth named My Arms, Your Hearse after a lyric from the song Drip Drip by the band Comus, which was like from 1970, 1971. This really, really incredible psychedelic, progressive, freak out acid folk album. I don't listen to a lot of folk music or anything, but Comus, with their album First Utterance, put out a record I could listen to every day. I first heard it maybe 15 years ago. I could still listen to it daily. Yeah, My Arms, Your Hearse is a line from that song that Opeth loved so much they lifted it and used it as an album title. And to be fair, as much as I love Opeth, I care a lot more about Comus than I do Opeth at this point, possibly because of that. And yeah, okay. See, I honestly thought I was like in a minority on that because I feel like a lot of people had this real big takeoff point. They're like, "Oh wow," and I think to be fair, it's people maybe 3 or 4 years younger than me, perhaps. I don't know because I feel like, especially in terms of like the metalcore years, there was so much happening so rapidly in that scene for a bit that a lot of it's just where it hits you when it hits you. Um, yeah, I think like everybody who was like 15 when it came out, that song "My Last Serenade" was like like the epic fucking metalcore thrashy, deathy power ballad that I always dreamed of. But then on the other hand, you had Howard Jones doing "Blood Has Been Shed," which that whole record was again unimpeachable. There's not a. It's one of the most furious, chaotic things that genre ever put out. And you got songs. What was that song? "Beginner's Luck." It was like the most just aggressive, insane song. Then dude proved his range when you had like "She Speaks to Me," which you get the broken heart, breakup, get back together sort of ballad there. Well, I don't know if I'd call it a ballad. It's got a couple lines of singing. But yeah, I felt really underwhelmed when he's suddenly, talking about the end of his broken heart, and that's the only song I remember from the album that he did with Killswitch. And I know they did more albums, but that was the only song from that album that I remember. And it wasn't that interesting of a song. Oh man, Jamila is banned from singing Killswitch on tour because he used to have sing-alongs in the bus and you blew your voice out doing the harmonies on the video show. What song? What song did you sing, Jamila? There was in my hometown, and again we're talking like 11 years ago. There was a brief period where my band, Giants Orbiting, was like the big fish in the tiny pond. We kind of sounded like Between the Buried and Me meets At the Gates, maybe. And there was this local band of younger kids who they liked a lot of the stuff that we were doing, but because they were younger, I guess the singer hadn't developed a voice to do a lot of stuff yet. So they had me at one show. I sang on their cover of My Last Serenade, and it was one of the most fun moments I ever had. I still would rather be singing my own songs in my own band, but that was really, really fun to geek out and do. Rose of Sharon, I don't know if I know that song. I'm not trying to like make fun of you. I bet that song rips. Which album is that from? Do I remember this song? Do I know it? Oh, I feel bad. Like I know I recognize the name, but I don't. I'm sure if I hear that, I'll be like, oh yeah, it's that one. Like I remember that. That was that on that was from the first record with Howard, right? God, my brain. Where did it go? Where did my brain go? Do, 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 do. Yeah. Yeah. Oof. What was the other song that was a real jam? They had like the two fucking In the Unblind or Into the Unblind or whatever. Just that like total ripper of a song, and then Temple from Within. Oh, like the Killswitch Engage had their moments. We are, it's like somebody on the internet the other day, yesterday, thought that me calling something deathcore was me being too good for it, or that it wasn't heavy enough, which is like the exact opposite. Like I like my pretty metal. I'm such a wimp. Uh, I oh my gosh. No, the deathcore bands all showed up with all their testosterone and ruined all the fun, didn't they? Like suddenly we went from having sing-alongs with with pretty bands to Immure and Whitechapel existing, and that shit was horrible and misogynistic and all sorts of other shit. Fuck it. Congration, you done it. Thanksgiving dinner's been acquired. I hope you'll enjoy it. Secret Stairways. Isn't this something? It's crazy. This is like 25 years old, this music. Beware the Ring. Oh, I love this. This tape makes me really happy. I don't put this one on often because I like it to retain its magic. But lo and behold, it does. It is still magical to me tonight. Oh, old metalcore. I can't believe I've fallen in this trap again. Soon I'm gonna. There's. Where have I placed it? That's right, I actually put it away, did I? I put the CD away, but soon I'm gonna be. I'm trying to put together a thing where I talk about my favorite band of that whole world. Uh, I've got a couple friends who I think are gonna be interested in talking about it with me. And if I'm really lucky, maybe I'll get somebody who was in that band to talk to. We'll see how it pans out. We will see. I'm trying, but trying doesn't always mean succeeding. I mean, I guess even if I don't get a member of the band, I'll still get a couple of my buddies to come on and we can talk about how this one band that nobody ever listened to put out the coolest, weirdest album ever in that in metalcore. This is like some frolicking music. It's moonlight, it's summer. It's safe to be outside somehow. And Jamila, it was a delight. We're always happy to have you folks. Radiation 4 shit, yes indeed. Yeah, Radiation 4, if you do not know them, they put out an EP and a full length, and that was it. They fizzled out. They had a second LP written and I think even recorded that never released. They had a couple demos that showed up on their MySpace, and that was it. Radiation 4, I was a really big Mike Patton fan in high school, and Radiation 4 basically sounded like the strangest intersection of like Mr. Bungle and Botch with it, it had all of the strange notes that you'd want from those, but none of the there were so many bands in the early and mid aughts who kind of referenced Mr. Bungle or Mike Patton in some way, and would inevitably it would land on like the equivalent of being like a fart joke musically. It wasn't. It was one dimensional. They got the memo that you had to be silly or weird or playful, but they didn't really think through the creative part. Radiation 4, they they were masterful in their execution. It was gleefully irreverent. But they knew what they were doing. They wrote incredible songs. They were well structured. They were thoughtful. The lyrics were so clever. Songs about the animals in the circus taking over against, joining together in revolt against the cruel hand of the ringleader. A couple songs about animals coming together. Honestly, there was one about a logging camp getting destroyed by a bunch of resourceful beavers. And again, this sounds silly, but like it was thoughtfully constructed. They were a deliberate band, and I think that differentiated them from. There were a lot of bands I loved around that time who haven't held up as well. I won't name names, but just they were silly. And Radiation 4 was strange. Their album art was like in pink and baby blue, but for all of their strangeness, they were not a joke. And so I truly loved them. I think they were too good for the realm they were working within, and like a lot of stuff like that, it just didn't have longevity. It didn't. The band didn't last long. God, they burned brightly while they did. They might be doing something. I don't know. They have an Instagram account now. All of a sudden, 17 years after their album came out. So I'm hoping that something comes of it. Yeah, and like the interesting thing, they were on Century Media, or they were on the Abacus Records Century Media imprint. They absolutely, so like they theoretically had that stepping stone to more, but then Abacus, under Century just folded, and I think with the loss of Abacus, the band didn't continue. And yeah, Magnolia 1 and 2 are both incredible. The TikTok Tick was on a Century Media sampler. That was the song that I heard that just instantly had me wondering what they were. What the fuck was this? It was so strange. John versus the Elephant was a song loosely about the Elephant Man, which is still maybe my favorite on the record. I don't know, but it was just a really good, interesting record, and I think it managed to touch on all of those. It hit a lot of the playful marks I needed in my music at that point without feeling like the band was laughing at me or not taking themselves seriously. So yeah, to me that was if we're going to actually examine the metalcore era as an artistic thing, because I think that any artistic any style of art can be done in a way that is fulfilling and rewarding, and that is probably the one that will always hold up for me. Looking at that, I'm like, oh yeah, this was a group of capable, inspired artists making something that they probably knew would not have a large following and doing it fearlessly and brilliantly. I think it's great. I mean, I think the big points of reference there are any patent bands and like botch, and if you liked any of that stuff at all, you'll hear it. And, it's hard for me to say. Maybe it's the sort of thing where you had to hear it when you were 16 in 2002 or 2003, but I still find it to be an inspiring and inspired small body of work. And hopefully I can talk to them soon. The singer used to give me music equipment tips on MySpace when I had no money to buy music equipment, but I was still asking questions because I was like taking notes, hoping that someday soon I can do this, join a band, and like get this gear and do this cool stuff that he's doing. It never happened, but I had a little notebook that I would scribble down the things he said to me anyway. Awfully nice of him. Talking to some 18-year-old kid who's desperately trying to rip you off. Well, I've finished my beer, and I've finished my meal. The tape is getting so soothing, so quiet. The sun is down, fully down. The city is always bright, even in a tiny neighborhood like this, but it's dark now. I'm sure you can tell. What do you think? You want to do a little more? Or do we want to call it? I can really go any direction. I'll get a glass of water if we want to keep this rolling. I don't need to go, but I don't need to leave, but I don't need to stay either. I don't really have any needs at all. It's just lovely to me to have anybody that even wants to be part of my community. I've been thinking a lot about togetherness, given that this has been a year where that is not as accessible, where we are apart. So every time you make a decision to come here and spend time with me, I'm very aware of that. That is a matter of choice, and it's a deliberate act, and I appreciate it. I think that we're gonna go on just a little longer. I'm gonna get some water, one more beer. Not one of those 10% alcohol beers that I mentioned. We are not doing that to ourselves today. We are the royal we. I am waking up tomorrow with energy and life in my body, not a hangover. So I have a beer that I'll drink that won't be so high alcohol. Won't go in that glass either. So I'm gonna do some dishes. Let me throw on another tape. I like that I in my Instagram post for this, I showed all these tapes that I've only played 2 of so far. So let's play a third one. This is another Janishev tape from a little more in the middle of the label's existence, the Guardian of the Hesperides. It's a collection with Internazionale. God, I need glasses. Manon Lescaut, Angeles, and PE. So this is a pretty short tape, so I may even play another one after it. Who knows? We are very unrehearsed here, as it should be. Except for that was actually part of the plan, that I would drop my cassette on the floor. Okay, 226. I began this tape. Cool. Back in 2 seconds with another beer and a glass of water. All right. Cool. Thanks for your patience, folks. All right. Cool. So we got some water and another high volume, low alcohol beer. This is a larger can than I remember it being when I grabbed it. This is Stone's Buena Vesa Salt and Lime Lager. I have no idea how I will feel about this. Stone is what Stone is. They've made a name for themselves making big, bold beers, often to the point of it being a gimmick rather than an enjoyable experience. We've got our mug with my best friend Howard on the mug, on the stein, rather. It's a fucking stein. Okay. So, we will, jeez. Okay. So, here, I'll show you once we pour this and actually get some liquid in the glass. You can see Howard a little better, and maybe he can see you a little better. It's always good to drink with your friends, right? I like drinking with my friends. I like drinking with you guys. You folks, you people. Oh, you people's a loaded phrase. But you know what I mean. I still can't see it so well because this beer is so, translucent. It's pretty light in color. You can just see this computer screen reflecting back more than the beer itself, but I assure you, it's a light color, fizzy. You can kind of see the head. Maybe you can see a little bit of the bubbles even. But the beer itself, pretty light, almost pale straw colored. We don't say yellow for some reason. Straw colored. Straw. Distilled beer. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a lager. It's a. That is a pretty pretty mellow. It doesn't have the roundness of lime, but there's certainly a little bit of like almost juiciness to it. Whatever salt is there is not there, not in the way like you'd get in a goza. But yeah, it's good. Smooth. It's. I mean, this is not. This is a tall can I bought at the fucking bodega. This is not a big fancy beer. So this is accessible, and it's honestly it's good to have accessible because it's nice. But you know how are your drinks treating you? Are you drinking anything? Is it going well? You enjoying your drinks? Uh, I feel like for some folks it's still a little early to be drinking. Actually, no. For Madeline, it's it's about 5 o'clock. So maybe it's completely acceptable drinking hour. Excuse me. We are really committed to the burp today, I guess. I'm gonna go offline for a second, just a second, or I'm muting myself rather. Getting a phone call.